Hey everyone, hope you all had a great weekend. Thanks for joining me on July 31st. And as always, we are not financial advisors, and everything you see on here is for educational purposes only. Alright, last day of the month. And let's look at BTC. So over the weekend, we kind of just went sideways. We did have a nice little drop, like a random drop. And then we had a random pump. But overall, it was just kind of like sideways. It was just, I guess, somebody was trying to pump it, didn't work. Then they tried to dump it, sorry. Didn't work, so they tried to pump it, and it didn't work. But right now we're kind of just going sideways. We talked about how we came down, we hit a strong reversal fib. So I mentioned, hey, tomorrow everything should push back up, if not later today, and then later today technically pushed back up. Then I mentioned, oh, you know what? This actually might be it because we are already on a weak fib. Although we didn't touch the top though, so I did mention, we didn't touch the top, so we actually could push up one more time to touch that top of the channel, which would be about 29,600 area. Just because we touched the top twice, so we were due to touch the bottom, and that knocked that out. We could still touch the bottom twice though, so it's gonna be pretty interesting how today plays out. I don't think there's anything interesting when it comes to this. Monday, CPI. No, there's like nothing that big influence. Cash rate, a little bit. Unemployment, MSI. Doesn't look like this week there's a lot going on. Maybe Thursday and Friday. Maybe Thursday and Friday. So that means we could see a bunch of sideways until then. I mean, look how much sideways we've done already. But every single day we've closed below the trend line, so this is kind of favors more of a downside. And if we close below 29,550, then it's going to favor for us to drop back down tomorrow. I'm going to delete this so there's not too much going on. I'll start deleting some arrows. We could go sideways. And at this point, it's looking more like, we went up, going sideways, down, sideways, and then down. So kind of does match this type of pattern, or it kind of like dropped when it's going sideways. Oh, I didn't even think about it. That's actually it actually starting to look like it too. Watch. I'm gonna delete this. You guys should be able to see the pattern somewhat now. Before you couldn't really see the pattern, but now you can kind of see it, right? Remember, it's never perfect, but it's the general idea. So we went up. We went, sideways and went up again. We went up, went sideways, up again. Came down, did a little bit sideways. Came down, did a little bit sideways. Came down, more sideways. Came down, more sideways. So now we're looking for something like that then. So, and like I said right now, because we've been below the trend line, it kind of favors down. So we could have a nice little drop. This could be the drop that can maybe put us to the 28,500 area or 28,400 area that I talked about. So drop again and go sideways, drop again, and like barely get to the 26. So it's actually, I didn't even think about it. I haven't looked at the pattern in a while, but it's actually playing out. And again, it never plays out exactly identical, but it's the gist of it, right? And as you can see, it's playing out not too bad. So the question is now, well, here's the big thing. Based off of this, like, it's going to go sideways until, like, mid of August. Because this was a lot of sideways for this. So, like, we might go sideways for, and even go up a little higher. We might go sideways until, like, yeah, second week of August or so. 12th, 13th, 14th. That's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be boring too, but I mean, at least we know, like, okay, cool. Like, it doesn't really show any like crazy pumps, right? Like, how a lot of people are talking about like 40K. And I'm over here like, oh, 26K, guys. I mean, there's a good chance I could have done that little second push up and then start pushing back down to like 42, 32. I mean. But this is actually playing out nicely, believe it or not. I actually like that. Let's see. The dollar pushed up again, back up. It knocked out these two targets. Right now it's kind of just going sideways, so it's gonna be interesting how it reacts today or the next few days. If we can stay above this, we should technically go sideways, right? Kind of like play with the trend line. If we can go above this, it'll actually push back up to the 103. But I mean, again, it could be like a slow push to the 103. Because there is a pretty size gap there and up here, though. So we gotta at least do this one. Right? Like this one, because it touched it. Never went in that area, so it should still count. But we should at least do the 104 and 309. And if it does that, you know, in theory, it should start pushing everybody else back down. XRP is still in a little triangle. I like how it came down to the bottom side of the triangle and went right back up to, and then it came back down. And now we're kind of just going sideways. Oh no, I think it went up first, then it came down, and it went up. I'm watching XLM too, so I moved it to the top, just because it does have a little pattern here as well, just to see if there's gonna be a breakout soon, which will be probably in a couple of days. I'm watching Doge, Luna still down. Okay, Shiba. What the thing kind of sucks is like the fact that it dropped below. Like it went all the way up, got rejected. I mean, there is support here, but you know, breaking this out should have gave it a little more momentum. But right now, it kind of dropped. It's already back up, so that's a good sign on that. Came down to the bottom side. You know, it stayed up when it dropped. It dropped below. As soon as it closed above this, like that was already a good bullish sign. This is why yesterday I think somebody mentioned like, oh, should we buy some? It's like right now it's not a bad time. I would do a breakout, but not a bad time to buy, just because again, it was holding above this channel line, and that's how those are the times where you can kind of feel confident, like, oh, what's above, so it might be okay. Especially if it goes sideways for a while and then it starts to push back up. Oh, 2% little move, not too bad. Let's see, I'm trying to think what else. Other than that, that's the market just kind of dropped. Damn, I had to take a big hit. This one's going on. Solana staying below the trend line. So it's gonna be pretty interesting. You know, we're gonna go sideways for a bit. According to this, might go sideways for quite a bit. I hope not. I hope like after this, you know, we close on this weak fib and we start to push back down, because it has been way too boring in the market. But at the same time, like, this is the stuff we have to, like, you know, not take for granted, because before you know it, it's going to be crazy again, and you're going to have to, like, worry about what's going on, and you can't sleep because it's going to go pump or dump a lot, and it's a mess. And then for me, it's like I got to post like 20 different charts a day instead of just like one or two. So we got to enjoy this, this boringness that we've had for a while. Let's see, I think that's pretty much it for today. Other than that, you know, tomorrow, based off of this, tomorrow we could drop back down. And then eventually we're just kind of waiting for it to see if we can do some sort of big drop like that. And that's a big drop. Well, on here it should take us all the way down, at least to like the 28,500 area. But all right, I'll see everybody on the Discord. Now, if you're trying to get more information on the market, if you want to stay up to date with the market, or just looking for a good community, in the description below, I did post my link to my website, which is tindicator.com. In here, you can find a link to Ko-fi or Patreon, which will give you access to the premium side of this channel and group. So I have two levels. I have that really stand out. You know, I have the peace of mind and I have the edge. And the reason that I named these names is because it's kind of what you get out of it, right? On the peace of mind, you do get peace of mind when it comes to the market. You know, you're not going to be surprised. You're not going to be shocked with what's going on. You know, just the other day, I sent out an alert on a Signal talking about, hey, the market looks like it's going to dump. Somebody like triggered something that kind of lets me know, hey, there's going to be a big drop. And, you know, 15 minutes later, big old drop happened. And then the same thing happened back over here. So nobody in the room's like, oh, surprise, oh, we dropped back down, right? And this is why I call it peace of mind, because you do get that peace of mind out of it. Then I have the edge tier, which the reason I call it edge, because you get the edge on the market, right? You're not just going to be blindly going into the market and not knowing what's going to happen. And I'm going to go over these tiers right now. So with the, sorry, I almost said edge, but with the Peace of Mind, you get access to the crypto room here. Edge also includes this, but you just get a little more. So you get, access to market updates. We have our general chat. We have our crypto chat where everybody talks about what's going on. We have daily play. This is where I post all of my stuff. So my stuff won't get buried in, a chat room where no one can see it. For the Edge tier, you actually get access to the Zoom scheduler. So you can actually schedule one-on-one Zooms with me so we can go over your portfolio, certain coins you're interested in, you just weren't sure about it. Some people have had issues with their wallets. I help them recover that. I've had people who just want to vent. Sometimes we just talk about certain things and, it helps them calm with the market, so they're not too upset with what's going on. Maybe they got into a meme coin that's down 95% or anything like that. So it's really cool, and a lot of my members love this. We also have the newsroom where we post newsworthy information. Planned orders is where you can see what people are buying or selling. We have our group Zooms every now and then. Hidden gems room where people post unique coins that are just coming out. Passive income room for staking and all that stuff. We have a marketplace where people are buying and selling from each other. Tips and links in here, so there's a lot of links for like good cool YouTube videos that you can watch about stop losses, technical analysis. In here's where I always put the newest Signal link, and the Signal link is one thing I recommend for everybody, because this is where I'll send you emergency alerts. Like if I see the market's about to dump, I will send a message here that's separate from all your other messaging apps, so that way because a lot of people like to keep everything else muted, because sometimes people are posting too much, and this is the one that you can leave on, and this will let you know like, hey, this is emergency, like, hey, we're about to pump, we're about to dump, or hey, something big is going to happen. Then we have charts where you can actually see what people are requesting. If you're on the Edge tier, you're allowed to actually request. If you are on the Peace of Mind, you can only view what other people are requesting, but here you can actually request all the coins you want to see. So I post them here, corresponding to the alphabet. And some of these will be like this. Someone talked about 1. Well, now you know that 1 has to drop back down to 0.013. So if you were looking to buy this coin, I would suggest waiting until it drops to that price before getting in. Because you don't want to get in and it's going to drop back down to this price. And now you would have wished you held off. So you get that advantage, you get that edge right off the market, because now you know when to get in and when not to get in. Another one that we were talking about, and I actually need to do a separate video on this because I didn't add it to the main video, but down here I mentioned, hey, so a member actually showed us this coin, and down here I mentioned, hey, you know what, this thing's about to take off, and it did take off. Once we were up here to this area, I was like, hey, you know what, this could probably be the top, and I drew this area here where we can drop back down to, and look, we barely missed it before it came back up. Now I'm going to update them on this shortly. And then down here we have, a place for woo-woo in case you're into conspiracy stuff or anything like that. We have a astrology room. We have a spiritual room. And then we have 2 other rooms right here. These are our little kept secrets. We won't go into it too much. We also have a free trading room. So if you know anybody that actually is into trading, also the link is in the description below. If you're on the Edge tier, you actually get an additional room where it gives you additional coins instead of just the free ones. But yep, that kind of breaks down my 2 levels of the premium. So again, if you want to stay up to date, I suggest joining us. We have a really good community. Everybody helps everybody out here. Nobody FOMOs, nobody's upset, nobody, is shocked by what's going on with the market. I've had members even tell me, like, sometimes it's kind of boring because we already know what's going to happen, right? There's not that like feeling of like not knowing what's gonna happen tomorrow, right? It's like, oh, what's gonna happen? Is it gonna go up? It's gonna go down? We kind of already know what's gonna go, like, right? And if we know we're gonna drop and it goes up, we know it's gonna come right back down. So if you made it this long, thank you for staying this long, and maybe I hope to see you in the room. All right, bye.